Hello, this is Pastor Michael O'Neill, continuing where we left off in a series of brief messages on plagues in the modern home. These come from a passage in the book of Leviticus, chapter 14, from which I preached an entire message recently at the Gospel Light Baptist Church in Albany, Georgia. In verse 35 of Leviticus 14, the Bible says, "And he that owneth the house shall come and tell the priest, saying, It seemeth to me there is as it were a plague in the house." The plague being the plague of leprosy. We don't have much leprosy today, even though that it is still in existence in the world, and not many of us are acquainted with such a plague as leprosy. However, having done house-to-house visitation and soul winning for many years, it seemeth to me there is, as it were, another type of plague in the average American house. And we're considering plagues in the modern home. At the age of 58, I've watched the culture of the United States of America crumble before my very eyes. And one of the biggest evidences of this decay is in the modern home. Our homes are in trouble. And so we're sounding out a message of alarm, and we encourage Christians to do the same, either through sharing this web broadcast with others or with doing it yourself. I want to mention a few of the devil's devices to destroy the modern home. Number one, defilement and dishonor. I'm calling this first device of the devil defilement and dishonor. The Bible says in Hebrews chapter 13 verse 4, "Marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled. But whoremongers and adulterers God will judge." Notice the word in Hebrews 13:4, undefiled. That is, the bed is undefiled if it is the marriage bed. Marriage is honorable, and so we're calling this first attack of Satan on the home defilement and dishonor. What are we talking about? Well, two particular avenues of attack on the modern home concerning defilement and dishonor. These, number one, is what we'll call simply shacking up. We've reached the point now where statistics tell us that there are just about as many people living together outside of marriage, that is, in whoredom, than there are people living together in the bonds of matrimony. Shacking up is what we called it as I was coming up, and it is really sad as you go through any neighborhood. When I was a younger preacher, this was something that was prevalent among the black population where I went door to door, but it wasn't as prevalent among the white folks. Now it seems like that the whole culture of the United States of America has been permeated with this lackadaisical attitude toward marriage. I think some of this had to do with the sexual revolution of the 60s and the 70s, with the coming in of the Beatles and the rock music that was imported into the United States of America from England. But shacking up is not the honorable thing to do. I remember that they used to say something like, "I'm going to make an honest woman out of you." That was in reference to a man who had been with a woman and he wanted to marry her. So shacking up is one of the means by which the devil is using defilement and dishonor to attack the home. Sodomite marriages is another. I've lost count of the number of states that have decided through their legislature and government signatures of laws have decided to declare that it is legal for sodomites to marry. That is, men marrying men and women marrying women. The Bible condemns that throughout the Bible from front to back, Old and New Testament, as being an abomination to the Lord. Leviticus chapter 18 verse 22. And because of this, the Bible says that lands, nations actually vomit out the inhabitants out of the lands because of sexual perversion. The United States of America is going down the tubes. And what's sad is that so many people who are in leadership have no idea that morals and an attitude toward God and the Bible have anything to do with it. But the Bible says that the wicked shall be turned into hell, and all the nations that forget God. Blessed is that nation whose God is the Lord, the Bible says. Well, our time is gone. May the Lord bless you. Join us for our next broadcast. God bless you.